Before I came to Congress, I actually was a medical scientist. I actually held NIH grants. So, Madam Chair, I find it a little unusual that someone would criticize my opinion and dismiss it on medical science. But we live in a strange world. That's why the American people look at Congress and wonder what's going on. The fact of the matter is, it's not a Trump administration policy that issues where ethics are involved should go to a committee convened to consider that. Madam Chair, I've had things go before IRBs, institutional review boards in institutions. It's a good first step. And the peer review process at NIH is probably a good second step. But for some issues like fetal tissue research, where we saw fetal tissue marketed, brains, $800 plus tax. We think it's not at all unreasonable that the federal government, before spending a dime of taxpayer money, because remember, the president's policy does nothing about funding it. It just says taxpayer dollars shouldn't be used unless you've considered the ethics. My gosh, there's nothing wrong with that. The fact of the matter is, Americans don't want their tax dollars spent on things unethical, and this is the way that we can determine whether it's ethical. And again, this has not been set up by the Trump administration. This was Mr. Waxman, who will never be confused with a Republican, and signed by President Clinton. And I will remind the gentleman that this issue has been discussed in committee for a few years. And the committee has come down on both sides of it because this is a controversial issue. And controversial issues best left to the experts, just like this Ethics Committee statute states. I yield back.